Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert, nutritional physiologist, holistic nutritional healing specialist, and botanical medicines researcher, writer, author, speaker, and educator. And welcome back if you're already subscribed here. So today, I'd like to kind of analyze what happens when your body is exposed to toxic chemicals over time. And this could include anything from pesticides in your foods, or cosmetics, and those that are present in other body care products like shampoos and conditioners, leave-in conditioners, things like that. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of exploration as to what happens inside the body over time when you're exposed to these toxic chemicals. And a lot of people are very surprised that there's a connection to these synthetics that are so prevalent in our environment and everything we use, put it in our bodies, and what we inhale, what we drink, all of that. So let's go ahead and examine a little bit about what's going on. Now, I just hope everyone's doing okay. I know the world is in a turmoil right now, and some are very excited and some are fearful. So the cleaner your body is, the better off you're going to be as far as being able to handle the stress. All right, so let's get into it. Again, welcome everyone. Before you forget, please like, share, and subscribe, and just hang in there, and I'll give you as many life-saving tips as I possibly can. And I try to do that with every single video that I produce for everyone. All right, so and I have a couple of short announcements at the end too, so please hang in there with me. All right, let's get started here. Better put these on. Okay. Let's see. I want to share my screen here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the safety factor as far as using the right types of products for your body, on your body, mostly at what I want to point out here, because a lot of these synthetics will go right through all the cell structures of your skin, all three layers, enter the capillary system, and distribute, and are distributed all over the body. Okay, so we want to be able to know which synthetics to avoid, and then I'm going to switch over and show you how all of the phytonutrient complexes that are in the plant kingdom, and a lot of the other food group foods as well, the animal kingdom as well, if they're healthy animals. So we'll get into all of that, and I will show you all the detoxification pathways using foods and their food-derived components. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's talk about how to protect yourself from this kind of accumulation of toxic chemicals that gets stored in the body's tissues over time and starts disrupting all the different body systems, the nervous system, the hormonal system. All of your body's ability to detoxify is greatly hindered and impaired. So let's go ahead and get over and go through all of this, okay? Okay, so I picked out this peer-reviewed study, and whenever you do any kind of research, try not to just go onto the internet and type what you're looking for without making a reference to scientific research. So I always type in Science Journal after all of my search terms in order to come up with these legitimate, the most credible kind of information in the scientific world called peer-reviewed studies. So this particular study is from the Journal of Preventive Medicine and Hygiene. So there are literally thousands of scientific journals in the world. So the scientific community doesn't limit itself to just one country. All the countries have always shared all of their findings so that everyone in the world can do their research on any particular item. So in this case, it's going to be different toxic chemicals. And the other study that I just showed you will be covering all the phytonutrients that are present in the plant kingdom. Alrighty, so this particular study is called Skin Safety and Health Prevention, an overview of chemicals in cosmetic products. This is a pretty long document. They usually are when they're in this peer-reviewed format. But I'm going to pick and choose the highlights of this document. And of course, I always list all of the links on below my video. So as you are watching this, I will have already done that. So you can find these links just below in the description. Okay, so what I like about scientific formats when they report their findings, the scientists report their findings, they always list it in summary form and introduction. They list the materials and methods that they use to conduct their research. In this case, it's a conglomeration of many different studies. So they summarized the kinds of materials and methods that all of the scientists that contributed to this knowledge in this document. So then they talk about the results. You know, there's always these standardized sections in the scientific journal reports. And they go through, and sometimes it says conclusions, and sometimes it says discussion, or sometimes both. So then they go on, and there's an introduction. You know, I'm just going to skim through this so that you know what to expect, what we're going to be talking about. And here's the materials and methods section. And I'm going to be going through all the tables in here because that summarizes pretty well, rather than me reading you the whole document. You know, that can get pretty tedious, and people's mind might wander off and get distracted and do other things. But I'm hoping you can focus your attention on this life-saving information, because this is such a serious problem in the population of how everyone has been so inundated with so many toxic chemicals over several generations. So it has really diminished how our bodies can defend themselves and repair themselves and regenerate themselves and function every single day. So a lot of the health issues that are out there are the result of this one, you know, problem of overburdening the body with synthetic chemicals. So there are several tables in here. We'll just go through them, and I'll outline briefly all of them for you. Yeah, so you're going to want to hang in there and take a look at what I'm going to be showing you right now. Alrighty, so let's go to the beginning here. So they start out by saying cosmetic products contain a wide range of chemicals to which we are exposed every day. The aim of the study was to determine the presence of potential dangerous substances which can cause adverse health effects by examining product labels. So becoming a product label reader is very, very important. If the string of these synthetic chemical names are too long, you'll be able to recognize certain segments of those names as you break them down, and you'll be able to pick out just at a glance which synthetic chemicals you want to avoid. Now, this is why I stick to organic products, including organic skincare products, hair care products, all those things, to minimize the amount of synthetic chemicals that the body can absorb, you know, especially over time. All right, so you know, they just talk about the types of scientific methods that they use to determine their outcomes of their study. And these are some of the results that they list. So, you know, they give you the data, the 50% of one thing, the 76.9% of the other. And we'll break those down. You'll see as I go through that you'll be able to see them at a much different, a better format to kind of absorb that information much better. Okay, so of course, you know, they're going to give you the conclusion up front, which is kind of unusual. Usually the conclusion is at the bottom, but this is worth reading. It says the use of many of these substances is allowed with certain limits due to their toxicity at higher concentrations. Other important aspects should be considered, as for instance, the possibility of long-term effects. On the other hand, other substances may induce several acute adverse side effects, that is, contact dermatitis, allergic reactions. For these reasons, an enhancement of the criteria used for cosmetics formulation is required, since many chemicals used singularly or combined are potentially unsafe. Okay, so just giving you a brief overview of what to look for in your products. So, you know, they talk about how everyone's exposed to a huge range of chemicals. Some of them occur naturally in the environment, and others are derived from, you know, production of products and production of food, and the residual polluting effects of our water sources in the process of, you know, preparing these formulations for the public in their products. So you start out with the skin. It's the largest surface of the body. It interacts with the external environment, and it is both involuntarily exposed to abiotic and biotic factors, so natural and unnatural reasons. Voluntarily, due to personal care and cosmetic products use, many of these are used or applied on a daily basis and in different ways. Consequently, these products are assumed for enhancing our personal hygiene and appearance, and they're reputed to be harmless for body's health. However, it's been found over time, these synthetics, will accumulate and start causing a lot of problems in the system. In light of the frequent and intimate nature of the contact on skin and mucosa with these products, it's important that they do not contain potentially dangerous substances. Makes sense, right? Because your mucosal membranes, they're present in the mouth, they're present, all these different areas where the body produces mucus in order to catch substances that don't belong in the body. So they're in your respiratory system, they're in the mouth, and in various areas in your body systems. So in light of the frequent and intimate nature of the contact on skin and mucosa with these products, it's important they do not contain potentially dangerous substances. I think I said that already. Okay, as a matter of fact, all the ingredients used in cosmetic products meet certain regulatory requirements. However, the use of many substances is allowed within certain limits due to their toxicity at higher concentrations. Okay, now, other important aspects should be considered as, for instance, the possibility of the long-term effects. On the other hand, other substances may induce several acute adverse side effects like contact dermatitis, allergic reactions. Moreover, the everyday use and continuous exposition of humans to a wide range of personal care products and to different kinds of chemicals derived from several sources may cause the so-called cocktail effect due to the synergistic action of different substances and also the additive effect because of the presence of the same ingredient in many products. So you think you're using a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's not having any bad effect on you, but over time, it's going to accumulate and you're going to start having problems in the different body systems. So the purpose of this study was to determine among the ingredients listed on a label the presence of substances with known adverse health effects in commonly used personal care and cosmetic products. We considered fragrances, preservatives, and other substances known as skin sensitizers or potentially harmful on general health. Okay, so now this section is about how the scientists went about and examined all the different products and how they implemented their studies to determine at what point do these products, ingredients, start causing harm in the body. So the next section we're going to look at, though, is all the phytonutrient compounds in plants that actually can bind to these toxic chemicals and help the body eliminate them out of the body safely without allowing them to accumulate over time and start disrupting the functioning of your body at the cellular level. Okay, so they divided this subject matter into 3 different categories: the rinse-off products like the shower gel, shampoo, toothpaste, liquid soap, intimate soap, shaving foam, and the leave-on products like the body creams, the face creams, hand creams, deodorant, sunscreen, aftershave, and the makeup ones like the lipsticks, the lip balm, foundation, and nail polish. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and read rapidly just to pick out the best stuff for you guys. All right, so then they go on to describe their methods. Subsequently, the label of every product was examined and chemicals which could possibly affect human health were detected. The selection of substances was based on scientific evidence. For fragrances, the list of 26 allergens, which have been identified as skin sensitizer by the Scientific Committee on Consumer Safety, the SCCS. And those names should be listed on the label. So that was all considered. And for the other substances, the literature's review was conducted, and only those reporting possible harmful effects on human health were selected. So you're going to be seeing the substances that were found to definitely cause human health harm. So these are the results. It looks like a total of 283 products were examined, 112 rinse-off, 103 leave-on, and 68 makeup items. And fragrances on the labels showed 19, and preservatives were 16, and other chemicals of concern were 11. So let's take a look at their tables and how they summarized everything nicely for us here. So products divided into rinse-off, leave-on, and makeup categories with frequency of occurrence and proportion of products containing fragrances, preservatives, and other chemicals of concern, and their distribution in terms of median and maximum. All right, so here are the products they listed here. All the rinse off products, 112, the leave-ons, 103, makeup, 68, total of 283. Products containing fragrances. So, they kind of use the medium and the median and the maximum type of numbering, to determine how much each of these products had on, I wouldn't say average because they don't list average, but they just show the median and the maximum. And then the products containing preservatives are listed here, and the products containing other chemicals of concern are listed here. So we can open these in a separate window, and if you feel like it, you can just take a picture of this, do a print screen or do a photograph, and you can take this away with you and use this for your further reference if you'd like. There's a few other tables that I would suggest you do that too, just so you can have a handy reference. Build your own, nutritional health protective book, or file on your computer, so you have the references to go back on later on, especially when they start listing the names of these synthetics. So here's a table of the fragrances. Table 2. Okay, fragrances. Frequency of occurrence and percentage of fragrances identified on the label of selected products and referring to rinse off, leave on, and makeup categories. So they're staying with those 3 categories. And here are the different fragrances they found that were of concern. Let's go ahead and open that in a separate window. So you'll see how, I guess I can expand that further for you. So take a picture of these, make note of all of these different fragrances that are found. Some of them are organic, some of them are not harmful, and some of them are. And I've seen a lot of these harmful substances in products over the years. So anytime you see something with butyl or methyl, kind of part of the name, in these chemicals, then you have to stay away from those because those are associated with carcinogenic effects in the body, or cancer-causing effects in the body. All right, let me go to the next one here. So, they checked out fragrances that are found in organic and children's products, and a lot of these are phytonutrient compounds found in our foods, like limonene. That's in lemon, the essential oil of lemon, which it has many, many health benefits. So, because essential oils are so highly concentrated, because the extract of the essential oil extract of plants is highly concentrated, because it takes many, many plants to extract even an ounce of the essential oil. So sometimes they can have caustic effects on if you're using them topically. I always recommend people to use only organic. You don't want any pesticide residues in the essential oil concentrations. And so just apply a couple of drops on the bottom of your feet. Your feet can handle it. There's thicker, layers of skin under there, or it's just much thicker and we're able to handle that kind of thing. But if you put it in sensitive areas of the body, then it can cause some caustic reactions, okay? Unless you mix it with plant oils, plant fats. Those are different than the phytonutrient fluids from the plants that are called essential oils. So essential oils are generally not oily, or greasy feeling, but the plant fats, the plant oils are. And a lot of times aromatherapists or massage therapists will, mix like a 3-to-1 of plant fat oil to the essential oil, just so it won't have that kind of caustic concentration effect on the skin. Okay, but we're talking about things that are in topical products. So that's different. It can have some kind of allergic reaction depending on how much of the essential oils are used in the product. But, let's take a look at what they found. So limonene, which we were just discussing, is found in shower gels, which is a topical item, toothpaste, and a sunscreen, lipstick, and lip balm. Generally, these products that are used topically don't have the high concentration amounts that you'll find in a little bottle of essential oil, So it's much less. But a lot of the products they found, 83.3% of the products did have this ingredient in it. Linalool is also another phytonutrient compound found in many healthy foods, and they use that in the, the body care product industry: toothpaste, sunscreen, lipstick, lip balm. And citral, derived from citrus fruits, it's been found in lip balm. So benzyl alcohol, it's a kind of preservative that's been around for many, many decades, and apparently, according to the consumer sites, is not a toxic compound. So shower gel, sunscreen, nail polish, so that would be found there. Eugenol, another safe natural item found from plants. But again, if you have any kind of reaction from a toothpaste, then of course you want to avoid it. But yeah, you don't see a lot of reports on that. The alpha isomethylionone for sunscreen, the citranolol for sunscreen, and coumarin, that's derived from turmeric, and apparently it has a lot of beneficial properties, not only internally for your body nutritionally, but also for, protecting your skin. So it protects your skin inside and out, in other words. Potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate. These are, I've done some searches on sodium benzoate over the years, and I concluded that it seems to be, safe. So it's a great preservative, it's not toxic. And for a topical item, then it's definitely pretty okay. So here are the other ones. I'm not going to read them all to you. Some of these have been found to be, harmful to health: BHA, BHTs, PEGs, and all these others. So be careful. The longer the name, the more synthetic the item is. So they have to include many different molecular compounds to mix into a molecule like this, so it doesn't occur in nature, kind of thing. And it's used in some lip balms. So I'd be very careful. I would only stick to the organic products that are lip balms, lipsticks, things like that you wear on your body for quite a while, right? And then petrolatum, you want to avoid that kind of thing. That's made from oil, synthetic oils, gasoline, the things that result in producing gasoline, things like that. So you don't want any petroleum products in your body. Those are very disruptive to the hormonal system and degenerate the nervous system. And here's the copolymer and the polysorbate. These are all synthetics that you just don't want to see in your products. And I'll go ahead and open it on a separate window for you in case you want to do a print screen on that as well. And of course, when you're viewing the video, you can either click on this link and go to that document yourself and then expand it out so you can take a picture of it as well. All right. Preservatives. So 60% of selected products contain at least one of the preservatives investigated. And of course, when you have products, you don't want them to start degenerating and decomposing on the shelf. Generally with the shampoos and fragrances and things like that, well, shampoos, actually, we use them up more rapidly than we might a fragrance, unless you really love the fragrance and you're using it all the time. So 60% of the products contain at least one of these preservatives. So again, here are the synthetics that you want to stay away from: the methylparabens, any paraben, ethyl paraben, propyl, there's that word again, methyl and propyl paraben, butyl parabens. Those are stuff you want to stay away from. The triclosans, let's break it down. If you have trouble pronouncing these terms, just break them down. So you can say imidazolid inyl urea, imidazolid inyl urea. So it makes it much easier to pronounce it more rapidly once you learn how to break them down. Just, try them between the consonants and the next vowel, in my case, I just ran it all through. Inyl urea. Even for a practiced professional like myself, it still is a pretty much of a tongue twister. Okay, so here are the ones that you want to avoid, although the benzoic and the sodium benzoic acid are okay. Potassium sorbate, are probably the safest ones down here. Okay, all right. I'm not going to expand that since you already probably know how to do that without my help here. Okay, so yeah, so they're talking about these parabens. Let's see what they say. 4 different parabens were identified: the methylparaben, ethylparaben, propylparaben, butylparaben, and almost 15% of the products contain 1 or more parabens. Mostly leave-on products like face and hand cream, sunscreen, aftershave. The most detected was methylparaben, found in all of those products containing at least 1 paraben, followed by ethylparaben and propylparaben. All 4 parabens were contained in 6 products: foundation, face cream, lipstick, aftershave, 2 sunscreens, and 3 parabens in 3 products: aftershave and 2 face creams. Please start looking at your labels. That's all I can say. Now, here's some other really gross things. Formaldehyde releasers, all these different variations of that showed almost all the same rate of parabens, but they were more present in rinse-off products. Among the 5 formaldehyde releasers, the most common were DMDM, hydantoin. And I mean, I don't use these products, so I'm not that familiar with these new synthetics that have come out on the market in the last 20 years. I've been off synthetics for over 20 years. And this other one that, I tried a couple of times to pronounce, which were both found almost also in 2 body lotions. Okay, so the MCI was found in 9%, almost 10% of the products. All these, they just go on and list what they found in all these different products. So then they have all these other chemicals of concern. And this is something that you truly want to pay attention to. They're in a lot of the products, okay, as they state up here. But let's go ahead and look at these. So here's what you want to become more familiar with, or like I said, print yourself out, or take a picture of these so that when you go buy your products, take a look to see if it's in one of these lists. So definitely you want to stay away from these. I mean, toluene, really, seriously, that sounds pretty deadly to me, sounds like the basis for the explosive TNT or something. So yeah, you don't want that on or in your body. All right, so, and the discussion, they kind of reiterate everything they've already found. They found that the fragrances were widespread in cosmetics, and the common fragrance identified in the present study was limonene, with citral, skin sensitizers. Okay, so I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. So let's go ahead and look at this. Among preservatives, parabens are considered a class of endocrine disruptors. They mess with your glands. They mess with the glands that produce the 10,000 hormones that circulate in your body, that police and regulate, start and stop, production of hormones, and allow these hormones to do their metabolic work. Every time your cell has to do some kind of work, it requires hormones and enzymes. With the help of the nervous system to help these enzymes stay reactive and active in every cell function that affects your entire metabolism, okay? So they're talking about staying away from the polyparaben and the butylparaben especially. Okay, so many studies observed that the parabens were able to chemically imitate the estrogenic activity, leading to adverse health outcomes. So they're talking about messing with the hormones. When you mess with hormones, you mess with your reproductive ability, right? And your libido, and also your ability to think, and that govern your emotions, and your ability to have cognitive, abilities to be able to think and determine and interpret your world. It affects relationships, it governs moods and emotions, reactions to stress, all kinds of things. So your hormones are very important. You've got to maintain your hormones. All right. So then they talk about the formaldehyde releasers. They're important sources of formaldehyde exposure and allergic contact dermatitis. They're able to release formaldehyde that has the capability to cause hypersensitivity reactions. For some time now, formaldehyde is considered carcinogenic to humans. And here's one of the studies that these peer review boards looked at. So you can just click on that and go to that study if you want to find out more about their findings on what the formaldehyde and its toxic effects and how it can lead to cancer. And even if concentrations of these kinds of preservatives added to cosmetics are very low, they are still present in a large number of products which use occurs frequently and daily. In other words, they're cumulative. They accumulate in the body. Then they talk about the MCI and MI, and those preservatives whose use has recently increased in cosmetics, but there's a limit of concentration both for single ingredient and for the MI-MCI mixture. Okay, then they talk about the contact allergies associated with MI/MCI, even if the dose is supposedly safe, kind of thing. I mean, if you're using a lot of different products and each ingredient has something like this in it, each formulation has something like this in it, then you're actually using more than what's recommended as supposedly being safe. All right, so then here's something else. Due to the possibility of collateral side effects on children, in particular on the respiratory tract and the central nervous system. Now you're messing around with people's brains and their ability to learn. The Food and Drug Administration advised against the use of products containing chlorphenicin for children and women while breastfeeding. In this work, we underline the presence of chlorphenicin in 2 children's products. Okay, so they found triclosan in a few products. So they warn, to pay attention to that, be focused on that. And it says it's an antimicrobial additive considered potentially harmful for health as an endocrine disruptor as a result of prolonged use. It may be found together with dioxin formed during its synthetic process, which could also be formed by did I say that right? Photodegradation of triclosan in the urban wastewater. That's why I do not recommend drinking tap water. Even the best filters, other than the filters that are known to get rid of the toxic chemicals that are measured in microns. If your water filtration system does not remove toxic chemicals, all kinds of these synthetics and drug residues and the heavy metals, if it can't remove down to the micron level, then you're still getting these toxins through your tap water. So do not drink tap water until we, the people, get out there and start cleaning up the environment. Seriously, we need to do that. It's gone on long enough. It's gone on over generations. And so, we can say no in ways that we don't have to get out there and do the heavy, detoxification of all our water systems. There's technologies and, people that can do that. But we can make the choice of choosing waters that have been detoxified and have been filtered through the earth. The bottled spring waters are probably the best ones, especially, just different brands. I like just certain waters here. I'm not going to name brands right here, but yeah, just look for bottles, bottle at the source, spring water. Okay. So then they say, lastly, other chemicals considered in our investigation were substances different from fragrances and preservatives. And so they list all these different toxic chemicals. So these toxic chemicals are chemical filters used for protection from UV radiations, are reputed endocrine disruptors. So exposure to these ingredients, although definitive studies are lacking, could cause negative effects on humans, as well as a neuronal delay and alterations in behavioral development. I mean, our children are exposed to all kinds of things, and we're trying our best, right, to protect the children. But it starts at home, and it starts with this kind of knowledge so that you can go to the schools and, see what's going on there. What are they doing to cleanse the water systems that your children are drinking out of the fountains? Of course, a lot of kids now, you have always, in the last couple of generations, brought their bottled waters to school, and that's a great step. But a lot of these bottles too contain the BPAs, the BPSs, that if it's exposed to too much heat, then it will dissolve and, outgas into the water. So the children or people who expose their water to heat conditions, don't leave them in your hot car, for instance, in the summer. Then if you drink that, then you're getting those synthetics in your body circulating, and wreaking havoc to all of your systems. All right, so then BHA, BHT, the cosmetic ingredient review, expert panel established concentration limits for these substances. So blah, 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 right? I hope you can read these two studies that I'll be presenting here, this one and the other, and just really get a good idea as to the kind of research that is ongoing on the subject and what needs to be done. More research needs to be done, obviously. You know, we can't have too much information about how the human body works and how it responds to our environment. Okay, here's another one for nail polish, and then I'll go to the next one. Toluene exposure from nail polish application was assumed to occur through both dermal and inhalation routes. I mean, if you walk into a beauty nail salon, okay, you just wear an oxygen mask because that's how toxic it is. People who work in salons end up with all kinds of degenerative health conditions. So it's a high concentration that can cause irritation on the mucosa and skin irritation. It was listed in 1991 under, I just saw a cute cat crossing my street here. It distracted me, like, oh, how cute. It was listed in 1991 under State of California Proposition 65 as a chemical known for causing reproductive toxicity and having adverse effects on the central nervous system. It's always on the nervous system and on the hormonal system. You know, it affects other body systems like even digestive system and your ability to absorb nutrients and utilize nutrients. If your DNA is damaged from these toxic chemicals, then it's not going to send the right information to all the different body systems so they can function properly. The DNA is where it's at. We've got to protect that DNA so that our bodies will function optimally our whole lives. All right, so then the last thing they say is acrylates and polysorbates are considered weakly irritants, weakly, W-E-A-K-L-Y, irritants. The concern related to the first compounds is the possible presence of toxic residuals like acrylic and methacrylic acid, which are characterized by allergenic activity, while the second ones are less irritants, even if cases of contact dermatitis due to these substances have been proved. All right, so if you're using a lot of these nail polishes and you have allergic responses, it may not be something that you're eating, or it may contain, like if people are allergic to strawberries, for instance, that's the most cleansing food, and it's high in anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, phytonutrient compounds that are so beneficial for cleansing the body. So if you are full of these toxic chemicals or you're exposed to them on a regular basis, and if you eat strawberries and your body reacts to it, it's just the detoxification process kicking in. You know, a lot of times when the body is toxic like that, then it's actually a little bit stressful for this detoxification process to occur. So a gradual detox, a gradual elimination of these synthetics and eating a diet high in the plant kingdom, especially the raw foods, and we'll get into that. And if you've seen this channel and the other videos, and if you have copies of my books, then you'll already know what I'm talking about here. All right, so I'm not going to go into the conclusions. I think we can draw our own conclusions here to just stay away from these synthetic chemicals that are listed in this document. Okay, and I should say peer-reviewed study. Okay, so let's go on to the other one, and that is called modulation of metabolic detoxification pathways using foods and food-derived components. In other words, the phytonutrient extracts. A lot of formulation companies and nutritional supplement companies will do a scientific review with clinical application. So this is going to be a little bit more technical and geared toward scientists who are looking for ways to heal the body and help the body heal itself, and possibly get the medical community to utilize some of these. Okay, so that's another iffy subject for another YouTube video. But okay, so let's go ahead and read this abstract. I'm going to grab a glass of water first. Okay, I hope this little new air conditioning box that I bought, it was this cute little air conditioning unit, It's a, water cooler type of fan little thing, but it works really well, and I hope you can't hear it right now. I hope it doesn't disrupt the sound on this video. I had it on high, but I'm leaving it on low for now. I can still feel it. It's doing fine. All right. So what it says here is research into human biotransformation and elimination systems continues to evolve. So biotransformation and elimination systems. So in other words, what are these nutrient compounds doing for your DNA? How are they protecting your DNA? And how are they actually doing the repair work in your DNA that needs repairing? All right. And elimination systems, your body's ability to detoxify itself. So all this research is, they're doing more and more research apparently on the subject. And I've been, applying the scientific research on this very subject for 45 years and seeing the health transformations of my clients. Okay. And then I retired my practice 13 years ago. And now in other ways, I am teaching and people are applying this information and finding their own results. So various clinical and in vivo studies have been undertaken to evaluate the effects of foods and food-derived components on the activity of these detoxification pathways in the body. So these are 3 different detox pathways that these scientists have reviewed. Apparently, they're pretty main detoxification pathways of the body. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother with the whole review of extracting all the different scientific research studies done in the world into one compilation in this report. So the first one is the phase 1 cytochrome P450 enzymes. Now, in my research, I keep coming up with this P450 enzyme. So let's get familiar with that. Don't let any of these terms intimidate you. The more you see them and the more you understand what they do, the less intimidated you'll be. And practice, practice saying them so that you don't stumble on them, right? So, they're tongue twisters, really. So the phase 2 conjugation enzymes, NRF2 signaling is another one, and the metallothionein is another. So this review summarizes the research in this area to date, highlighting the potential for foods and nutrients to support and or modulate detoxification functions. Clinical applications to alter detoxification pathway activity and improve patient outcomes are considered, drawing on the growing understanding of the relationship between detoxification functions and different disease states, genetic polymorphisms, and drug-nutrient interactions. Some caution is recommended, however, due to the limitations of the current research, as well as indications that many nutrients exert biphasic. If you use too little of something, it's okay. If you use too much, even if it's a good thing, then it's going to have some negative effects, possibly, in some cases. Dose-dependent effects. So it depends on how much you take in at one time or over time. And then the genetic polymorphisms may alter outcomes. So a whole foods approach may therefore be prudent. All right, so I wouldn't say it's prudent. I would say it's, in my experience, whole food complexes in the whole plant, how nature intended, how God created, is much easier on the body to utilize fully. If you isolate components, isolate nutrients, the body's going to be looking for, the DNA knows how compatible we are to plants. It's going to be looking for the rest of that plant complex to utilize more fully for all of its body systems and to do the repair work. Our DNA reads plant DNA and extracts those segments of gene codes to utilize and splice into our own DNA segments, because it knows those segments are what the DNA needs to function normally. So that's the healing and repair process. Okay. All right. So introduction. Let me go ahead and just jump to those 3 metabolic pathways of detoxification. So here they talk about the phase 1 cytochrome P450 enzymes. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, of course, because we'd be here all day and I don't want you to fall asleep. I'm trying not to have that soothing monotone of a voice. So I'm trying to keep it interesting. Well, I am already interested. This stuff I am passionate about, and I'm hoping that passion comes through to you. So, I've been doing this and applying all this knowledge to my own health for since 1970, since I first became interested in nutrition, in high school, and in college, and then afterwards in my continued, research to continuously learn more and more about how the body works and how our body utilizes nutrients, especially in the plant kingdom. Okay, enough of that. You've heard it all before if you've been here before. So the P450 enzymes. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try to summarize this here. I did go through this before. So there's talking about how the body utilizes it at the molecular level, describing the process. Let's see, the P450 enzymes is generally the first defense employed by the body to biotransform xenobiotics, steroid hormones, and pharmaceuticals. So let's go ahead and look up xenobiotics. I can't recall what that is at the moment. I don't know about you, but I am always looking things up. Substances that are foreign to the body or to an ecological system. Okay, that makes sense. All right, where was I? Yes. Okay, and they talk about CYP1 enzymes, and this family of enzymes is involved in metabolizing pro-carcinogens, hormones, and pharmaceuticals. So it's the way the body utilizes all of these different toxic substances, or how the body will regulate its hormones, and how it will utilize the medical drugs, or any drug for that matter. God forbid that you are addicted to anything like that. So then it just goes into more detail about the foods and phytonutrients. And here's a nice little summarization for us. Let's open that in a separate window. I want to see that one better. All right, here's some miraculous superfoods that it lists here. The cruciferous vegetables, which is the broccoli, the cauliflower, the Brussels sprouts, all these different super vegetables. So they used the different dosages according to the nutrient that they studied. The resveratrol, which is found in grapes, the wine, peanuts, soy, and itadori tea. Green tea, black tea, curcumin derived from turmeric, and it's also found as an ingredient in curry powder. Soybeans, garlic, fish oil, rosemary, and astaxanthin, which is found in algae, yeast, salmon, trout, krill, shrimp, and crayfish. So it's not just the plant kingdom exclusively, it's in the kingdom of animals and sea life that actually absorb plant materials that contain this particular or a lot of other array of phytonutrient compounds found in plants, whether it's in the sea or in the water sources, or animals who graze off the soil, kind of thing. So then we've got, okay, that was the CYP1A1, and this other enzyme CYP1A2, it's found in also found in these. So as you can see, the scientists tested all these different, some of them are human studies. In this particular case, they were done on rats whose metabolisms are very similar to humans. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much. You want to make a list of these foods too. Incorporate those into your diet. They are life-saving foods, very highly preventive foods. And here's another one. So this one has some of the herbs in it. Also, I like to point out kale. Kale is one of those superfoods. So if you get a mixture of the super greens, then you'll be good on this, And then the different kinds of vegetables like carrots and celery, dill, parsley, parsnips, just an array, a potpourri of different kinds of vegetables in this category. And then the quercetin, which is found in apple, apricot, blueberries, yellow onion, kale, alfalfa sprouts, green beans, broccoli, black tea, and chili powder. Don't you just want to put together this huge, bowl of vegetables that just looks so beautiful and so appealing, and they are so medicinal and so healing. All right, so certain compounds in the soybean grapefruit, kale, garlic, chamomile, peppermint, dandelion, and turmeric. Now, these herbs are in my food, Potent Superfoods for Lifelong True Health. That contains 109 superfood botanicals that I did extensive research on and summarized. And the book is tremendous. I'll talk a little bit more about the book. But yeah, if you want to know what each of these different plants in the plant kingdom do for your body, then it's like a, pharmaceuticals spelled with an F, pharmaceutical, combination of something that you grow on a farm and a nutraceutical, which contains functional compounds that are known to help the body transform its own health and recuperate and repair itself back toward optimal health vibrancy. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down here. It talks more about the enzymes. So human and in vivo example nutrient inducers of selected CYP enzymes, human and in vivo example nutrient inhibitors of selected CYP2 enzymes. So in vivo, it just means live human studies. All right, so here are the enzymes, and here are some other foods here. A couple of them are the herbs, rosemary, chicory root, considered an herb. But yeah, quercetin, again, found in these superfoods here. And tea is surprisingly very, very nutritious and very healing and very cleansing, detoxifying, and actually helps the body burn fat more readily, green tea especially. All right, so here are the different compounds in ellagic acid. I don't know why my voice is cracking. Ellagic acid, that's the one compound you should become familiar with. It's present in all these different berries and nuts and seeds and wonderful foods. And you've got the turmeric itself in a whole food form. And then the green tea, black tea, again, a lot of these are present in different foods as well. Let's see what else is listed here. Watercress, garlic, all of the onion, garlic family, the allium vegetables, N-acetylcysteine. These are very important compounds for the health. All right, let's see what else they have here. Just keeps going, doesn't it? Just going to peruse these very quickly so that we can talk about other things. All right. Yeah. Just pause it and take a look at that, or get on the link and look at the document yourself. That way you can open these in a separate window. All right. Caffeic acid in coffee. Green coffee beans are extremely beneficial for your health. All right. And then there's the other enzymes they talk about. These are all enzymes that the body can make when you have a raw food diet and a diet high in these phytonutrient compounds. The body can easily, especially if it's raw, enzyme active foods, once you cook something or even steam it or even stir fry it quickly and briefly, it's going to lose a lot of that light energy frequency that's so important. That's the spark of life, that keeps life going. So try not to overcook your foods or eat as many raw foods as you can. You can juice them if you have digestive issues that the roughage, might get to you if you're not used to that, or if you haven't eaten a lot of raw foods in your life, or if you haven't eaten them in a long time. So ease back into the fiber, but you can always juice things and your body can handle that fiber broken down much more small pieces. It can absorb the nutrients much better and go through your digestive tract and not cause so much havoc, because these raw foods also contain anti-inflammatory compounds. They have nourishing and soothing compounds that will repair your digestive tract, your stomach and digestive, the whole entire digestive tract, the intestines, both the upper intestines and the lower intestines. All right, so in here, they're reviewing all these different observational studies on cruciferous vegetables and the compound resveratrol and the citrus as foods and bioactive compounds that induce UGT enzymes. All right, what's UGT again? Scientists always abbreviate something. It's just only for the purposes of their their research. So let's see what they said about UGT. I forgot what that was. Okay, UGT. That's not the first place, is it? Let's go back to the first reference. Usually they'll tell you what that abbreviation stands for. Well, here it is. UD. Okay, UGTs are UDP, gluco. This is going to be fun. Let's break it down. Glucuro, right? See that glucuro? Okay, let's highlight one at a time. Glucuro no-sil. Okay, glucuro no-sil. That's fun to say. Glucuro no-sil. Transferases. Anything that ends in ASE is an enzyme, almost 99.9% of the time. Okay, so these particular, enzymes also metabolize the phytochemicals that are in the plants, those beneficial compounds all over the plant kingdom. Alterations in their effects may be seen with genetically downregulated enzyme activity. Downregulating just means the reduction of a molecule so the body can utilize it for different purposes, okay? And the body rebuilds molecules, the body, just takes molecules apart. And so it's no problem, the body will metabolize whatever enzyme it needs if the nutrient compounds are present in the right form. Cooked vegetables, cooked foods, in the plant kingdom, don't eat any animal-derived product raw. Obviously, there's problems with that, but no problems in the plant kingdom if you're eating raw and your body can handle it. But if you're cooking them, then your body has to try to break that down somehow, and it has to make an enzyme to actually break down that food that once had its own enzyme active in it before it got cooked. Okay, so that's why eating raw foods is so important. Ease into them if you're having digestive issues, right? You have to get your intestines in shape to be able to handle it, because it is a muscular peristaltic action that occurs. Your muscles in those intestines are squeezing the food through all the way down to the bottom and out the door eventually, right? So you've got to ease into this raw food concept that is so important for your health. This is how we're made. We need those enzymes. All right. Here's another chart. Again, it talks about all the different foods, and how they were tested. And so the UGTs are found in honeybush tea and rosemary, soy, ellagic acid in all these different berries, and pomegranate, grapes, walnuts, black currants, ferulic acid found in whole grains, roasted coffee. And make sure you drink organic coffee. You don't want the pesticides on your coffee beans. Pesticides are bad news, Tomatoes, asparagus, olives, berries, peas, vegetables, citrus, curcumin, again, in the turmeric and curry powder, astaxanthin. So, you don't really have to eat a gigantic variety of foods, because a large enough variety of foods from the plant kingdom will provide many of these arrays of phytonutrient compounds that are so detoxifying and cleansing and help the body repair itself and repair all of its systems, All right, so legumes, the mung beans, seeds, adzuki bean sprouts, vegetables and fruits, and here's a good little grocery list for you. These should be staples in the refrigerator, and just be careful, make sure you buy enough so that don't overbuy. You don't want things to go bad in your refrigerator. But I keep a lot of things in water. I keep my carrots in water. I change the water out every couple of days, and because I don't like them to look all dried out, the raw carrots. And I keep things like celery, and my cilantro and other herbs, and the asparagus. I love asparagus, and I just keep those in the refrigerator in a little tub of water. You can stick them all in the same tub. They're okay. They're fine with that. So this will last so much longer, but just because they're in there doesn't mean they're going to end up in your body, right? So you've got to keep eating these. Every time you eat, try to eat some of this plant kingdom foods that's so healing and so regenerating, and they aid the digestive process. They keep you detoxified. And so they do wonders for how you feel. They actually contribute for the energy production process in your cells so that you have more energy, They help you safely eliminate these toxic chemicals. You won't even feel it. You won't even know you're eliminating them unless you suddenly break out, and that's just sometimes, usually it's a lot of the detoxification process, because your skin is one of the detoxification organs. It's the largest organ in the body. So you can tell a person's state of health by how their skin looks. And of course, exercise and sunshine, managing stress, all that, contributes toward how a person looks and feels. All right, but these nutrients will elevate all areas of your life so that you will look and feel better and respond to stress better, kind of thing. You'll even sleep better. I mean, everything, all of the above. It takes a whole combination of factors to have whole health, to realize your whole health potential, and therefore your human potential, because it elevates the soul, elevates the spirit. It's all just like this upward, cascade effect that is very, very positive for people. The science is there to show all that I just said, and I have seen it over and over again over the years. And I've found it for myself too. Everything I've ever learned, I apply to my own health, and I feel fantastic. All right, so I want everyone to feel fantastic, okay? So yes, hope you're still here with me. Please don't bum out on me. Your body will thank you for it. Here's another table for the SULTs. I forgot what that was. Oh, let's look it up. I can't stand not remembering something. Okay, so let's see. SULT. Tell us what that is. That's number 7. Let's go to number 1. Where did they first mention that? Okay, well, the word resulting comes in. I guess that's why it jumped. Okay, number 4. All right, so UGT or sulfotransferase. Again, when you look at these terms, you'll see the prefixes and the suffixes are usually references to the chemical compounds, and the rest of it is something like an enzyme or something like that. So sulfotransferase, say that 10 times. All right, so yeah, so they're saying here that it's, don't know if I should read this to you, but yeah. Just pause it here and know that the flavonoids that you take in your diet are very important for forming this kind of these kinds of compounds that are so beneficial. You can always look up the individual group of scientists that contributed to this peer-reviewed study or were chosen, in a peer-reviewed study. It's important to realize that these studies were chosen for their quality and for their credibility. And that's what a peer-reviewed study is. You can be sure that all the studies listed here are standards that are pretty high and are credible in their outcomes. There's another one with more foods for the different enzymes, UGTs. All right. Yet another one for SULTs. Yeah. So, okay. Now you have a pretty good idea. Here's some more nutrients, vitamin B6, the minerals magnesium, selenium, and the amino acid methionine, cysteine, glycine, and the B vitamin folate, and the alpha lipoic acid, and all these different functional foods, and they give you the references. You can just do a deep dive, and you can actually go down the rabbit hole, and find more and more studies. But it's good to look at the peer-reviewed studies. They've summarized all of it for you. They've done the rabbit hole work for you, so you can just get a good idea of what they all found. All right. It just keeps going, and we're only halfway through. So yeah, just try not to skim it like I'm doing, but look at these tables. These are a good way to learn the different nutrient compounds in the different foods. This is a great list right here. They make great grocery lists or something that you might want to order online. I order a lot of my herbs and powders online, and I buy them by the pound. It's all organic. I don't want an accumulation of pesticides in my system, which is why at my age, I do not have any issues, thank goodness. All my systems are working, and I have to attribute that to the knowledge that I've acquired. And I want to pass on this knowledge to you, which brings me to my final subject here. This is my website. You've probably seen this before. If you're new here, then, here it is for you. You can peruse the website. You can find out everything about what I do and my credentials, and my experience, and the work that I've done, the books that I've written. And I mentioned the True Health, excuse me, those are other books I've written here. These Potent Superfoods for Lifelong True Health. This is the book that contains 109 superfood botanicals that are highly researched. And the book itself, you can buy it softcover, or you can buy it through Kindle ebook. And so, if you go to the website, holisticchoices.com, and you look at the books by Mary Esther Gilbert link, then this will give you a pretty good summarization of what the book is about. And I always like to do a video to introduce and go through the book itself, so it has a lot more detail about what's in the book. So yeah, this is what's called a tome. It's a compilation of many, many studies written for the layperson, and it's laid out in summary form, like the German Commission E monographs. And so they list all the different scientific findings on each botanical in this format. I like to bullet point and summarize for people, and then sometimes there will always be scientific reference citations, so that there's a whole citation reference section. There's if you haven't seen this video before, I apologize if I'm repeating myself to those of you who already know, but it's quite a health desk reference manual that you will refer to for years and years to come. It has an encyclopedia dictionary hybrid section in there. It has a section, entire database of the full array of phytonutrient compounds that are found in foods that humans eat. And also gives, what those health benefits are. So it's quite a book, and there are beautiful illustrations, and it'll just bring out this, the healer, self-healer in your body, kind of thing. So consider that as one of your serious books for your home library. All right, so I think that is it for now. Until next time. And I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for hanging here with me. And I hope that if you didn't have time to watch the whole video, you went back to it at the place where you left off. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get the word of true health to as many people as possible. And, I also have a True Health Mastery Institute of Holistic Health Management, Personal Health Management, coming up. I am still compiling the courses, but it's taking me a lot longer than I thought. I had to build the entire website, just by learning as I went. So it took me a while to get a hang of it. And I put together, the best version of it as possible. And it's going to be very smooth, to go ahead and look in there and see all the different advantages you get from the being a member. It's very affordable, and you'll be receiving life-saving information. I've got to show it to you again. I didn't show it to you when I went to my website, so I'm going to go back very quickly and show you the True Health Mastery membership site. This is the introductory page. So there will be a newsletter, and as a member, you'll get a free newsletter just to announce, what will be coming up next as a member, all these activities. So these are the perks that you'll get to enjoy as a member. And I have an introductory video too, if you want to view that. And if you'd like to be a member, then just send me a note, put your name here, your email address, and say, I want to be a member. Please notify me when it's available. And that way, you'll be notified and you'll be able to join and get all the perks. It'll be like having your own nutritional consultant for $12.97 a month. There'll be live Q&A, things like that in there. I already uploaded so many different articles that I've written onto the website, and more videos, educational videos, and also answering questions, from members that come in. That'll direct the direction I go as far as giving you the member information, life-saving information to help you reach your highest optimal health potential, and therefore your human potential. So yes, I'm excited about this. I cannot wait. I will totally enjoy the live Q&As, if you join in, and you'll be able to give me some live questions. we'll have some live interactions there, and I'll be offering the 2 courses so far, actually 3 courses. So there'll be 3 courses that I'll initiate. And once those 3 courses, I think I've been talking too long, I've been stumbling on my words. Once those 3 courses are uploaded, then I will make the announcement of the initial launch of the True Health Mastery Institute of Holistic Nutritional Health Management. All right. All right. So there I am again. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you are getting so much out of this, because I'm pouring my heart and soul into helping humanity become healthier. And if you truly like what you see here, like the information, you're getting a taste of what it'll be like to be a member, then please like, share, and subscribe, and help me get the word out. We need to heal humanity. Our population is sick, and it doesn't deserve to be sick. It's been misled down so many alleys of untruths and, just misinformation, disinformation. So yeah, let's make everyone healthy. All right. Thank you. I will talk to you later. See you later. Bye-bye now.